Is it unacceptable to you as a chief?
Absolutely, it's unacceptable to me.
That was Tucson Police Chief Roberto Villaseñor last week. Since then, we have also spoken to Councilman Steve Kozaczek. Tonight, as promised, we continue our push for answers. Marcelino Benito sits down with Ward 2 Councilman Paul Cunningham as we continue this Not on Your Side investigation.
Do you feel that long of a wait is unacceptable?
8 hours for a felony crime is unacceptable.
A simple answer about a complicated problem. A problem Cunningham says he's experienced firsthand.
If it were your home and you had to wait 8 hours, how would you feel?
Well, I can speak from experience. Last year, our house was burglarized. We waited 6.5 hours. It wasn't a pleasant experience.
It's not pleasant for a lot of you. Waiting and waiting for TPD to show up.
I'd like to believe that the eight hour situation is not the norm.
Not the norm. In fact, 8 hours is one of the better response times we've heard about. Some of you have waited up to 25 hours. The chief told us they're doing the best they can with what they get.
Do you agree with that? Does the responsibility lie with you?
As this budget process evolves, yes, it's our decision to make whether or not we're going to have people waiting 6 or 8 hours.
After watching our story, Cunningham tells us he's even more committed to finding more funding for public safety. But he says the reality is it won't happen overnight.
I'm optimistic, cautiously optimistic, that there will be some extra resources available to increase the number of police officers we have.
Many of you had questions of your own for the councilman, so we ended our chat by asking them for you.
A lot of people on Facebook sharing that streetcar sentiment, that maybe we're prioritizing other things. The city council member's response?
Again, the streetcar is a federal grant. It's got nothing to do with writing the city budget every year.
What do you say to Thomas about the decisions that you guys are making in that department?
Well, again, the pie is only so big.
Agree, disagree with Bobby?
Yes. I mean, obviously. You've got to take care of your team. You got to take care of your public servants.
Before we wrapped, Cunningham wanted to talk directly to you, the people affected.
We're going to do everything we can to help you out. But not only that, we're going to try to make sure that other constituents don't have the same experience you had.
Cunningham tells us the overall state of the economy is also partly to blame for this situation. Cities across the country are going through the exact same thing right now. Both Kozaczek and Cunningham agree TPD needs more resources, and they've pledged to do what they can this coming budget cycle to make sure they get it. Back to you, Jennifer.
Marcelino, thanks so much. Here's the Not on Your Side bottom line for this story. The more we look into this burglary issue, the more feedback we're getting. You, our viewers, are basically cheering us on and asking us to keep going, and that's what we plan to do. We'd like to thank Chief Villaseñor and Councilman Kozaczek and Cunningham for their courtesy in agreeing to talk with us and address the issue. And we thank our viewers for trusting us to tell your stories. But we're not done. Stay with us in the days ahead as we continue working our way down the list.